I joined the Navy right out of the high school. I got an appointment to the Naval Academy from my congressman, competitive appointment, so it was not a political appointment, but of course all political in some sense. But that was 1968. The Vietnam War was raging at the time, and I joined not to avoid the service in the Army, but because I wanted to do something in the military, and the Navy was family tradition. My father was a commander in the Naval Reserves, had served in World War II, and so it was an opportunity for me to continue the family tradition, so to speak, and I've never regretted it. It was a wonderful experience.
So how many degrees have you obtained since during your military service?
Well, I was very, very fortunate. While I was at the Naval Academy, I was selected as a Trident Scholar, so I spent my last year at the Academy doing basically research. I finished my bachelor's degree in 3 years. They had nothing else to do with me, so they kept me on. They wouldn't graduate me because you got to go through 4 years at the Academy. So they allowed me to do research, and then gave me what was called an IJEP, an Immediate Graduate Education Program scholarship to MIT for a master's degree in ocean engineering. Subsequent to that, I did a tour as an instructor teaching celestial navigation at Notre Dame, and while there picked up 2 master's degrees, one from Notre Dame, one from Indiana University, in business administration and public administration. They then sent me later on to the Naval War College in Newport, Rhode Island, where I earned a degree in Master of Arts in National Security Policy and Decision Making. So the Navy paid for essentially 4 master's degrees as part of my service.
The only one they didn't pay for is your law degree.
Well, actually, after I left the Navy, I went back to school to get a master's from University of South Florida in Tampa in Management Information Systems, and they said it was crazy to get a 5th master's degree. I should stick around and get a doctorate, so I did, in Information Systems, Decision Sciences. And then subsequent to that, decided I really wanted to go back to school and go to law school, and here I am.
You know, that seems to be a pretty common thread through a lot of our discussions with the veterans, is that the military has provided an incredible amount of educational opportunities for its members.
The branch of service I was in was Nuclear Submarine Force, and of course Admiral Rickover was renowned as an education advocate. His education programs, I believe, are among the finest in the world. I mean, he takes literally kids right out of high school, and by the time he's had them for a year, they have a degree, equivalent of a degree in nuclear engineering. These are very, very well-trained, sharp kids. Kids that, I mean, 19, 20 years old, and they're running nuclear reactors. A very, very rigorous program, but you can't go through that program without instilling in you a sense that education is something to be valued more than anything else.
And tell me a little bit specifically about your service, especially towards the end. What were your duties?
So after MIT, I went straight from Cambridge, drove cross country out to Mare Island in California, Vallejo, California, to start nuclear power school. And that began 20 some years in nuclear submarines. And you start out as a division officer. I was a main propulsion assistant, communications officer. Subsequent tour was a navigation officer on a ballistic missile submarine. Then 2 tours as executive officer, the second in command of the ship, one on a overhaul of the USS John Marshall, converting it to a SEAL team carrying vessel, and one on Skipjack, which was a 585 class fast attack. And then tours commanding officer of USS Ray, which was a Sturgeon class 637 short hull fast attack, which I have to say it's absolutely the best job in the world.
Why?
Just because it is one of the very, very few jobs in the world that you are completely autonomous, certainly in the military. When you think about an aircraft carrier, it's in constant communications. You've got the president sitting back in the Situation Room monitoring his every move. I mean, he can actually pick up a telephone and give commanding officer an order to turn right or turn left or launch weapons or whatnot. A submarine, you go off on a special operation, you literally pull the plugs on all of your transmitting equipment. So you can't transmit anything. All you can do is receive. So they don't know where you are, what you're doing, what your situation is. They can't give you orders. So literally, you spend several weeks ahead of time talking to the fleet commander, the submarine force commander, and getting your marching orders, and they basically are, go forth and do good in the name of the king. Very similar to the wooden ship days where you'd be out of communication for 2 years at a time. So there's just a sense when you steam down the river and you pull the hatch shut, you dive, you're on your own, and that is an incredible responsibility. But there's just no other feeling like it.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.